Audio on demand from Vision Christian Media.
Exploring faith and the future. Neil Johnson and Bible teacher Dr. Camille Majdali.
We've been talking about the fascinating expansion of Christianity from the Middle East into Europe. Camille, we've been talking about the 7 churches that we read about in Revelation. There are fascinating and inspiring stories about those 7 churches.
Well, for sure. And first of all, remember, when you read for the first time about the 7 churches, it's in Revelation chapter 1, verse 11, where Jesus is speaking, therefore it's in red letters. He addresses the 7 churches. Now, when you see the list of those churches, like Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamos, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea, there actually is a logical sequence. If you saw them on the map, if you were going to travel to them, like on a tour, they go clockwise, starting with Ephesus, and then you go up north to Smyrna, which is Izmir in Turkey. Then you go further north to Pergamum. And then you start to go, in a sense, northeast to Thyatira, and then you start to go south. So it really is a clockwise formation. It was deliberately said this way. The first thing to mention is Ephesus itself. It is probably the number 1 archaeological tourist site in Turkey. Turkey was getting, I can't remember, something like 30-some million visitors a year. Now, many of these happen to come on cruise ships, Turkey for a day. But one of the common stops is not just Istanbul. The common stop is a place called Kuşadası on the Aegean in, the far west of Turkey. Kuşadası is in close driving distance to ancient Ephesus. Everybody that goes to Ephesus comes back raving because the ruins are so spectacular. It would be a highlight for anybody. But one thing that's interesting, Neil, is that Ephesus was on the Aegean Sea, 2,000 years ago, but because of the silting of the Cayster River, the Aegean Sea is now something like 6 kilometers away to the west. I mean, that alone makes it really fascinating, let alone the archaeological remains that are there.
Do those natural changes in the geography upset the way we think about those churches if we don't see them geographically in the same places and things have changed over many years? Does that alter the way that we understand the message that's come to those churches? No, I don't think it makes any difference because the fact that Ephesus is on the Cayster River and the Cayster River silted up, it's not even, I don't think the Cayster River is even mentioned in Scripture. Ephesus is mentioned in Scripture. And remember, of course, the Bible doesn't necessarily give a grand tour of these cities. But the reason we enjoy Ephesus is because it's so well preserved. They have a reconstruction of the Celsus Library. I mean, it looks spectacular. But the real gem is the theater that supposedly held 25,000 people. Now, you could imagine the riot that went on, or near riot, or actually not even near, it was a riot in the book of Acts. And Paul wanted to go in the theater and address the crowd. And they said, the church said, no way you're going out there. You'll be torn to pieces. That part is what becomes very, very electric. And then there's other things in Ephesus too, but I have to say it is a gem. And if our listeners can go there, they will not be disappointed.
Faith and the Future with Neil Johnson and Dr. Camille Majdali from Teach All Nations. For more from Dr. Majdali, including books and DVDs on prophecy, Bible commentaries, plus today's and other episodes of Faith and the Future, go to vision.org.au.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.